Hi, this is Renee from Custom Scraps by Renee. Today I'm doing a video that a subscriber had asked how I do my flowers and how I get them to look dimensional. Now, I don't do the flowers like Heartfelt Creations where they do the rolling and where they make them damp and then they roll them and mold them and shape them. I just, I don't do that. I do just simple folding them and layering them together. So we're just gonna have a little variety of flowers. I'm just gonna put them together and kind of show you how I do it. So we'll just get started. And I have, these are all die cut flowers, and my these flowers and these flowers are punched out of it with a punch, so I'm going to set those off to the side. But these were all from flower die cuts that I have, and so like I said, I like to try to layer the flowers, and I think that just looks better. I'm just kind of dry fitting it right now before and then I also will ink the edges after I get done. But I just take the petal and I just bend it upwards so that it touches each other. I kind of bend it in the center of the petal and just bend it up, and that's as simple as what I do. And then when I glue it down, I make sure to alternate so that I alternate the petals. So this petal will be in between the two bottom petals, and I'll hold it there a minute. And a little more glue this time. And then I just keep alternating. And using my flowers, I try to, depending on the flower though, I like at least 6 petals or 6 layers of flower. So sometimes that's not always, that not always how it happens. And I don't worry about the glue showing because it will dry. And then I just keep bending them up. And sometimes a little hard to bend up, just to, I don't know, I don't know, I just, 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 I don't know, I just pull them together, so I kind of just help them. And I just kind of bend them and then squeeze them. And even the teeny tiny ones, I still want to bend them. And then what I have for the center, either I can do Nouveau Drop, Crystal Drops is called Dandelion Yellow. I can either do that in the center, or I have this Fiskars punch, and it's really old because the whole front of top of it is faded off, but it's a snowflake die, and I just punch out one of the snowflake shapes and use that for the center. So you can just add a little glue. And there's the center. This is the pink one. And then I just go along the edges. And then make sure and get into the top of the flower as well as the edges. And if some of it turns out darker than the other part, that's okay, because, you know, it's not, flowers are not perfect. But that's one flower. And you could put like some Wink of Stella on it to kind of brighten up the petals to make them shimmery. That's one. And we can do this one. This one's with a little textured cardstock. Kind of a heavier weight cardstock, which I wouldn't recommend putting through your paper punch, but through your die cut, it would work okay. Paper punch, it would probably not punch up as well. And this one only has 4. So if you wanted more than just 4, you could maybe die cut out like 3 of each and make it a paper with 8 layers, or use just 6 of the layers. That could be how you'd want it. And this one we'll just use the Nouveau. And just make that to be your center of your flower. Oh, I forgot to ink it. Shoot. Try to ink it before you put your Nouveau drops in. And there's another one. And then I have this one that is 5. And I do the same thing. I just bend up the edges. This did give me a chance to go through all my die cut flower and pick out some to use. I'm going to use blue on this one. And there's that one. And I have, this is a really pretty, it's a poinsettia one that I got, but it has 4 pieces. And it would be really pretty. I just picked up scraps, but it would be really pretty in white or red. But whoops, I got that backwards, sorry. Goes this way. Who doesn't? Where's the little one on top? And you could do the same thing with these flowers. You could bend them up, and that would make a pretty poinsettia. And then I did a few leaves, so you could put that. And if that was in red or green, that would be really pretty, but and you could do like 3 berries in the middle, or a red nouveau drops. And then I should have bent up all these pieces. We'll just do this ivory. And I think that's pretty. That would be very pretty at Christmas time. And that's a die set that I have. And it looks like And I've seen it on Amazon, so I think you can still get it. But this is what the die set looks like. There's 4 of them. And I've seen it, whoops, excuse me, and I've seen it on Amazon. So I know you can still get it, so. It's a really pretty poinsettia. And what was the new one I just got? This is the new one that I just got. So this would be the first time doing it. And it's kind of embossed too. Like I said, I just try to, when I layer them, make sure that they are alternated. And I think art glitter glue works well because helps when it's stuck, it's stuck. And this one, I have this birch raspberry. And that's really pretty. And this I cut. Let's go with it. I cut out some of my favorite flourishes. That's what I didn't cut out. This is from a die cut that I got off of, I think it was off of Amazon. I would do something like that if I just had one flower, or if I had 3, I would kind of lay them together like. Try to put them together like this. And let's see, I had some leftover die cuts that really didn't have, they didn't go with the set. They were kind of just by themselves. And so I said, well, we'll just put them together so you can mix and match colors, you can mix and match shapes. This is like I'm just gonna bend them. And then I'll get over to the punch flowers so you guys can see which punches I use. Because I really only use 3 sets of punches. So that actually it's a pretty little flower. Actually, that's a very pretty little flower. It's really pretty. My punched flowers. This is my first group, and I will use I used this Scars paper punch, and the big one, and then the small one. I think this is 2.5, and then this one is about 1.5. And I use those, and how I do those is I do 3 of the large sizes, and then 3 of the small to make 1 flower. And I do the very same thing. I just alternate them. And if I'm doing like just small flowers, then I do them like these, small flowers, I'll just do 3 of them as the flower. I think if you tried to do 6 layers of this small flower on one, it would probably be, I don't know if it'd be, you could do it, but it might be hard to get it to. I don't know why that does that. It's a giant air pop. Must have the big giant air bubble in it. And you'll see these punch flowers more. I use these more in my layouts. I don't know, a lot of these die cut ones are sure pretty. So that's one of the layout, one of the paper punched. And here's another one, and I use this large one and this medium one. And I think this is a 2-inch flower. And that's a 1-inch flower. And they're old. And I do the same thing. And even if you get a miss part of the round punch, you're not really going to see it because it's going to be, you know, petals aren't perfect. And in a scrapbook, I don't know how well these will hold up. I'm sure you'll have a little bit of flattening. When you would put them in a scrapbook. ink on these. And this flower, I've noticed it does flatten out a lot easier than a lot of the other ones. Sometimes you have to go back in and kind of just re-fluff it up a little bit. So if this was going in a scrapbook, it probably would flatten out. And there's that one. And then this one, I use these two flower punches. And this one looks like it's about 2.5. And this one looks like it's about 2. And this is hard to get dimensional just because they're tiny. So these would probably be the only ones that I wouldn't have a dimensional, you know, where I would turn them or bend them. But I would probably make them a little dimensional by making them a little bit thicker. And that, he's pretty dimensional there. And I'll just do blue. Hey, Mowgli. Hi. bad. And then there's that punched flower. Those are pretty cool. And this is another one I found that I had forgot all about. I love these flowers. Hey, did you just wake up? So we'll glue this one. And I'll show you what I do with my little flourishes. Actually, this bottom doesn't go with this flower. Flower has 5 petals. I'll just put a Nuvo drop on this one. And there's that one. And then she also asked about the flourishes. And I have this punch from Martha Stewart. It's a little pine bough punch. And that's what I used to punch them out. And I found this container full of some that I had punched out because I'm like on my second Martha Stewart punch. So I would just go through here and find some to show you guys how I do it. So they look like this. Just a little, that's what they look like. And let's take this one like this. And then all I do is I put them together like that. 2 together at a time and put some glue on the edge. And usually I have them, you know, on scrapbook paper. But that's how I do it. And sometimes if I really want to dress it up, these don't match, but that's okay. Then I'll do 2 on the other side, depending on if it's just 1 flower or 2 flowers. And I put them in and I just spread them a little bit so they're spread out a little bit. And just press them. And there's the little flourishes. Take this one so I can find some green ones. I try to, you know, pick a color that is in the scrapbook when I do my flourishes, because I usually don't, you know, I don't do like green leaves and that very often. I just put them together and glue up the end and stick them across from each other, or and then just spread them out and glue it down. Okay, go all of this. And this one, let's see. I must have really been bored to sit there and punch out all these. And with that punch, I would never try to punch anything heavy because it cannot withstand. Oh, and then I touched that. Shoot. I'm gonna have to fix that. Put this on first. That's why sometimes it's okay to use a Nuvo drop, other times it's not. Gonna be a little lopsided, but And these would just be some of the bigger flourishes that I like to use. This one is probably my favorite. Is this one. And I like it, and I'll use this one. And that's it. And that's how I do a lot of my flowers. And I hope you like what you see. I hope this was informative. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment. Be sure to hit that like button and consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't done so. I really appreciate everybody, and I will be back in a couple days with another video. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.